Hello, Giants fans. Welcome to Giants Baseball 101. I'm Gabe Vaughn, your host. I'm sorry that I wasn't on yesterday, but I would like to say Happy Father's Day to any dads who may be watching this video. The Giants won this most recent series against the Pirates 2-1. Oh man, how about Carlos Rodon? You know what? I'm going to say Rodon. That's how the KNBR broadcasters say it, so I'm going to say Carlos Rodon, okay? How about Rodon on Friday? He went 8 innings. I believe it. Yeah, he didn't allow any runs. They were 8 scoreless innings. Whenever you see a great start from him, it's just reinforcing the same concept that I kind of talk about almost every time I mention him, and that's that he is good. And then Camilo Doval, both Friday and Saturday, he got the save. I mean, Saturday, it was a bit more of a wild game. The Giants won 7-5. There was, I believe a homer from Wilmer Flores and a double from Brandon Crawford included there in that game. But it was a 7-5 win for the Giants, and Doval came in. He got the save again that day. Then yesterday, they just didn't quite make it, which is unfortunate. They didn't quite complete the sweep. But this was a series win. I'll have to check the Giants' record again, but it is really good right now. They are winning series after series, which fans have to appreciate. Now, here's the fundamental question that I would love to get anyone's opinion on, just sent to me through an email. I always say at the end of every video and put in the description box how to email me, where to do it. And I would love to get your opinion on this question. How do we read the Giants season? I mean, sometimes you have to mentally divide a season. It's all one season, but sometimes you have to mentally divide it, just in your mind. Like say, okay, this is how they did before the All-Star break. So far, so good. Now, after the All-Star break, here's what their approximate record is. I mean, have you heard the saying that you should not judge a team's season until after Memorial Day? I mean, we had that less than a month ago, and I think I would have said that the Giants were doing pretty well before then, but yeah, I would have agreed that, you're not too far into the season, so they could fall off. We can't count our chickens before we hatch, right? And now, today is June 20th. The Giants have a winning record, and they're winning their series. Just the last couple of times, they just fell short of a sweep, and I believe it was the series before that they swept the Dodgers, which we know, anyone who's familiar with the Giants knows, that means a whole lot to us. But the question would be, what's the best way to divide the season, in your mind? The best way to think about it? Are we just going to extrapolate the data and say, this was how the Giants did in the first half, and I expect that trend to continue into the second half? And according to my understanding, that would be quite enough for a playoff spot. I mean, I don't think it would be enough to get straight to the division series. It will only be one team from each league that's going to do that this year, I believe. The other teams will have to play a 2 out of 3 wildcard series, according to my understanding. But, I mean, that's going to be almost everybody, so I would say if the Giants get to it through the wildcard series, we just say they have to win that. That, I think, is the only reasonable attitude Giants fans can have right now. But we're almost at the All-Star break, and that's why, in my last video, I told all of you what I think you should vote for in the All-Star game. Of course, fans have their own opinions. It's your own ballot. That was just my idea. But I guess what that indicates is All-Star break is coming up. We're almost at the end of one half of our season. So the first half, we'd have to look at that as good for the Giants. And then the question would be, does that continue into the second half? And we have to hope the answer is yes. But that's not the only way to think about it. And Memorial Day being kind of the dividing line, that's not the only way to think about it either. Because last year, when the Giants had a season better than any they had had in a long time, I was actually thinking of it month by month. Like, okay, we got through April, Yeah, we got through May, we got through June. Okay, we got through July, and the Giants are still first in the National League West, still doing really well. Okay, we got through August. Now they have to clinch the playoffs. Now they have to clinch their division. But that was just me. I was thinking of it month by month there. And all fans are going to have their own unique things that make them feel comfortable and uncomfortable there, but I was just like, with the Giants doing really well, I was thinking of it last year basically as, I'm talking about the season, I was thinking of it basically as something the Giants had to get through without falling off. I mean, it was granted, they were playing really well. I was thinking of it like, oh man, we just got to get through this thing and not fall off. Which, that's why you can explain the mental pattern that I had about got through June, got through July, we're still in it, got through August, we're still in it. That's why. And this year, I'm probably going to be a bit like that again as the season drags on to a close. And I was going game by game pretty much so far, but as we approach the All-Star break, I would imagine I'm probably going to be evaluating again, like, okay, this is where we are at the end of June, now we're at the end of July, and so on. I'm pretty sure that's how it is going to strike me. But right now, the Giants are winning their series. Maybe that's all we need for right now to go by the series. Of course, I expect we're going to have, at least a few more letdowns this season. I mean, expect the downside of this roller coaster to come up again, and prepare yourself not to be too disappointed. That's my best advice. I think the Giants' overall progression this year has been good, and I do project it to still be good. So, how do we evaluate this season? Like right where we are on June 20th? Well, I would say right now the Giants are winning series after series, and that they're going to increase this lead in wins over losses. And then if I'm just making a prediction here. If they're really hot offensively right before going into the All-Star break, then I'm certainly going to be thinking, oh man, I hope that these 4 days of inactivity, except of course activity for a Giant if he should go to the All-Star game, but for really most of the Giants, it's going to be inactivity those 4 days. I'm going to wonder, okay, is that going to make them cool off? I really hope it's not. But honestly, it's possible for anything to make your team cool off. Sometimes a break would do a team good, so I wouldn't be super anxious about that, even if we maybe have in the past couple of full seasons. So, the Giants beat the Pirates. They'll be playing the Braves next. I really haven't checked in a while what the Braves' record is this year. I'm going to have to check up on that so I can get a pretty good idea. But I think with the Giants' level of intensity, they've got a good chance to beat those Braves. And it is incredible how the Giants' offense seems to pick them up when, even when the pitching doesn't get a great start, because it was Saturday, I think Alex Wood was pitching, and he gave up, well, maybe it was the bullpen. I don't really want to say who gave up the runs when it's hard to remember everything at once here. I mean, I'm not the statistician who can charge runs to pitchers, so if I don't absolutely remember, I guess I won't say anything, but Saturday, I think, definitely was the day when the offense had to pick them up, and they did that in a timely fashion. Sunday, it didn't quite happen, so the Giants' success is really coming from just doing what they have to do in the majority of their games, scoring enough runs and getting enough outs in time before the other team scores runs. So what it is, I would say, just what I said a few days ago, that it's that they do what they have to do in the majority of their games, whatever that is. So, we're reaching an exciting time. We're almost at the end of the first half of our season, it will be 10 more days. Then we will have gotten to the end of the third month, and we'll be ready to go and head into the second half, where the intensity is really twice as high on fighting for a spot in the postseason. So, I'm sure all are looking forward to that. It will be another tight race here in the second half of 2022. And we'll see if the Giants can do it with what they've got, if they can reach the playoffs, and I still truly believe that they can. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Giants Baseball 101. If you would like to contact me, please do so at gabrielvaughn89@gmail.com. That's also put in the description box. And please subscribe. I mean, I'm really in a battle right now to get this YouTube channel popular, to get it out to a lot of fans, and if you subscribe, you can help a lot. So I'd ask you to do that. Thank you so much once again. I'll see you next time on Giants Baseball 101. We're getting to the hot part of the season. At least we're approaching it. See you next time.